They say monsters are born in the dark. But what if they laugh in daylight, share food with you, send memes, and promise to be your friend? That's what Sam Nordquist believed, until friendship became captivity and acceptance became slow, deliberate torture. This isn't just a story of murder. It's a story of how the human mind can dissolve into cruelty, one small choice at a time. When Sam moved to New York, he carried more hope than luggage. 24, soft-spoken, thoughtful, he was searching for a place to belong. Like so many young people who feel unseen, he turned to online spaces, forums where difference felt normal, where identity didn't need explaining. There he met a group that called themselves a chosen family. They spoke about loyalty, about how real bonds are built through pain. It sounded poetic, even empowering. Sam didn't realize he had just stepped into the orbit of people who studied suffering like an art form. At first they were kind. They laughed together, shared secrets, cooked food. But slowly the atmosphere thickened, questions became commands, jokes became threats, and leaving became impossible. That's the trap of coercion. It never feels like imprisonment at first. It feels like belonging. Days turned to weeks. Sam's texts to friends grew shorter. His social media went silent. Neighbors later said they heard strange noises, thuds, muffled cries, music playing too loud to hide something else. Inside that house, 5 people were slowly dismantling a human soul. Psychologists describe this as progressive cruelty. Once you hurt someone, the guilt is unbearable, so you justify it. Then, to erase the guilt, you hurt them again. Over time, pain becomes the only way to prove control. Each act needs to be bigger than the last, until the act itself is the only language left. Sam was kept captive for more than a month, sleep-deprived, humiliated, beaten, and isolated. His captors didn't see him as human anymore. They saw him as a project. They took turns commanding, punishing, performing. And the horrifying part? They filmed parts of it, they joked about it. They even argued over who had gone too far, as if his suffering were a shared hobby with boundaries to debate. The mind of a torturer doesn't start out twisted. It decays through validation. Each one of them found safety in the group's approval. That's what psychologists call collective psychopathy, evil, distributed so evenly that no one feels fully responsible. One person starts, another laughs, and the silence of the rest becomes consent. Within that echo chamber, empathy dies quietly. When police found Sam's body in a field in Yates County, the medical examiner used phrases like extended physical and psychological suffering. But words like that don't touch the reality of what he endured. There were signs of restraint, old wounds, new wounds, patterns of deliberate torment. The evidence led straight back to the house. 5, then 7 suspects. When detectives asked why, every answer was different. It got out of hand. He agreed at first. It was just a game. But none of them could describe the moment it stopped being a game, because to them, it never really did. This case forces a question most people don't want to face. How far could you go if the people around you told you it was okay? History tells us cruelty thrives in permission. In every act of mass violence, every cult, every abusive relationship, the pattern repeats: control disguised as care, dominance disguised as love. Sam's killers built a small version of that world inside a rented house. And the result was inevitable. The media called it a modern-day torture cult. But in truth, it was something even darker, proof that empathy isn't guaranteed in the human species. It's learned, and it can be unlearned. The scariest thing isn't that 5 people could do this, it's that anyone could. Given the right pressure, the right audience, the right loss of conscience. When you look at photos of Sam, he's smiling. He doesn't look like someone marked for tragedy. And that's the point. Victims of manipulation never see the line until they've crossed it. He wanted community, he found captivity, he wanted love. He found possession. So the next time you scroll through messages from strangers who feel a little too intense, who promise they understand you better than anyone, remember Sam Nordquist. Because monsters don't live under beds anymore. They live in chat rooms, behind friendly words, in houses that look like yours. And they're not born with horns or claws. They're made slowly when empathy dies and power takes its place.